Hi everyone, welcome to another edition on Immigrate with Ammy. I want to say thank you for your show of love on my first video, your likes, comments, messages, and some of you shared my video. Thank you. Today, I'll be sharing my immigration story. The purpose is to share my motivation for starting this immigration platform. I know a whole lot of people are at the same point I was 4 years ago, asking what next. So, my immigration story is for you. You know, people who believe that life can be more, people who are not receiving any form of motivation from the people around them. And I thought to myself, the best way to reach out to you is by sharing my story. I sincerely hope you get motivated after watching this video. 2014 was a critical time in my life. It was the period I accepted to marry my fiancé, who is now my husband, to start a family. This decision led to so many questions in our minds, and the most important question was, what kind of life do we want to live as a family? Even though we were both working and we had a positive outlook about life, we were so dissatisfied with the state of things around us, and we felt we could be much more. Mostly for my husband, who had come back from Europe after 4 years so we can get married. He applied for jobs in so many companies, and some of those companies invited him for an interview. He did excellently well. In fact, some of those interviewers also attested to it, but hey, they never offered him a job because of the obvious reason: no godfather. Finally, one of the well-known companies in Abuja offered him a job, but the salary was nothing to write home about. I was highly disappointed because he had first class in his master's abroad, and I was hoping he was going to hit a well-paid job, but that never happened. However, he continued working for this company. A year passed, 2 years, nothing happened, not even a promotion. And at this point, our first baby had already arrived. There were lots of bills waiting for us here and there. You know, things became tougher than it was. If you know Abuja very well, you would understand how expensive accommodation is. And at that point, we knew we've got to look for a way out. So we started praying about it because we are Jesus people, we believe in Jesus Christ. And at the same time, we were making research on how best to go about it. We also had a heart-to-heart contemplation, and we finally arrived at migrating via study because it seems to be the fastest pathway. You know, my husband would apply for a PhD program since he has the highest qualification. The first option we had was the USA. My husband applied to about 3 schools in the US, and after 2 or 3 months, one of the universities offered him an admission and also sent visa processing documents so we can apply for visa. But we couldn't go ahead with that admission because as at 2014-2015, international students were not allowed to work full-time. Even if you come with your spouse will not be given a work permit to work. So because of that, we couldn't go ahead with that admission. The second option was Canada. We started searching for universities in Canada, but when we saw university tuitions in Canada, we quietly and gently advised ourselves not to go ahead. I mean, it was freaking expensive. And another thing about studying in Canada is you would have to pay 1 year tuition before applying for a visa. And guys, we could hardly afford that kind of money as at then. So because of all that, we allowed that to slide. Nevertheless, we kept on pushing because we were so eager to leave Nigeria. So we started making some research about an affordable country to move to in Europe. One of my husband's friends who was studying in Portugal as at then told us about how affordable it is studying in Portugal, and that international students are allowed to work full-time if they choose to, but they have to balance it with their studies. And also, spouses of international students are allowed to work full-time. To us, that was a mind-blowing information. We made some research and we found that everything we heard was true. My husband quickly applied for a PhD program. After 2 months, the university offered him an admission, and God made a way, provided money for us, and that was how he traveled to Portugal. When he arrived in Portugal, he applied for his residence permit. Immediately the card got ready. With the card, he applied for a visiting visa for my son and I, and that was how we all migrated to Portugal. Time will not permit me to share the details with you all, but it's been amazing living in Portugal. A whole lot of things we struggle with back home no longer exist. In fact, we can't even remember them. And Portuguese people are friendly, welcoming, and accommodating. If my story has inspired you, please like this video and share with your friends, because I believe a whole lot of people need to hear this. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Turn on the post notifications so you always get to know whenever I post a new video. By next week, I'll be sharing with you guys why you should study in Portugal. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.